welcome to Artist to Artist. I'm your host, Angela Owino. And today we have Tayu Kilili. She's a curator, she's a sculptor, she's also an author, and she's also the founder of Creative's Garage. And she also had an exhibition titled Maskan, which talked about femicide in Kenya. We also have a photographer, Joel Lukovi, and he's also a founder of Picture Museum, the new Africa's first museum of photography. Welcome, Tayu and Joel.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are glad being here.
I'm glad to have you, Joel and Tayu.
Santi.
So talk about your photography journey and discuss that with Tayu.
Okay.
Yes.
I got into my photography journey around 2007, 2008, just around that time, when I happened to join campus University of Nairobi to start to study geospatial engineering, and then I got interested in photogrammetry, and the story went on from there to becoming now a full-time photographer and just working with different mediums and styles of photography. A little bit of writing, and then all of a sudden it just took its own curve, and I did lots of photography practice since then to now, and this is where I've been exploring the medium of photography and lens-based media.
Do you have a particular sector in photography that you mostly do? Like, is it sports? Is it entertainment? Is it, yeah?
I think for me, it's not really tied down to a particular style of photography. For me, it's everyday experiences. So I try to share, document, make pictures that showcase activities in whatever scope without really tying them to it's under sports, it's under wedding, it's under documentary. It's just a whole encompass of everything that I get to share and see. So that's what I try to express. So for me, I look at photography more of an expression of my everyday experiences, and then just putting it out and sharing it with the world. Yeah.
Okay. And Picture Museum, I'd be interested to learn more about it, like how it came about, why you're doing it, why it's important.
I think for quite a while, not the longest, for quite a while, we've really had the challenge of experiencing photography in Nairobi, and it's in the sense of there aren't enough spaces that are able to showcase and promote photography and even develop the practice itself. And for about a few years now, maybe 3 or 4 years, I really thought together with other photographers, like, how do we come up with a space that is able to allow us to exchange ideas on photography, showcase photography, develop the medium of photography as an art practice. And within this time, the idea of a museum came up, and we started looking for spaces. Initially, it was just a gallery, but later on we thought, okay, why don't we spread our thoughts wider and see what we can work with. And Picture Museum came about 2 years ago, so we are co-founding it with Frank Byrons, whom we sat down severally over several meetings between Nairobi and Amsterdam, just sharing thoughts around it. And it happened that I did a curatorial residency at Form Museum in Amsterdam, and it really sparked that desire of, like, we need a space in Nairobi that can host the world and bring photography from all over to have it in Nairobi, as opposed to situations where everyone or every artist is running out to showcase their work in the Western sphere and everything. Why don't we become a host of photographic practice in Nairobi and Africa? So that's how Picture Museum came about. And Picture Museum basically is just an idea, a space that is able to create dialogue share with the community, expand views on lens-based media. It doesn't necessarily have to be photography, but it's a whole scope of these practices that we get to do as artists. And it's not just photographers. Any artist who's working in the medium of photography is also able to experiment, explore that medium extensively. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah.
Do you have questions for him?
I think my question would be, I don't know, I've interacted with Creative Garage for a while, and it's great to know where you've taken it and how far it is. What has been your experience with Creative Garage this far?
Do we have time?
The little time we have.
Yeah, so when I set up Creative Garage, it was coming from a place of frustration. Yeah, so my background is film, and I wanted to create films, but of course, like budget constraints and all that. And I was like, is there a music producer out there who'd love to collaborate? Are there actors who'd love to come together and we create something? And so I was like, there was no one space that was bringing all these people together. And so it started as an event. I did one event where I brought all these people together. About 40 people came. I did it, I was like, oh, nice, at least now I know a few more creatives within the sector. And then after that, I mean, everyone was like, yeah, when is the next event? And that's how Creatives Garage came about. So the experience with Creatives Garage has been, of course, hard, but also amazing. Hard in terms of sometimes like fundraising and things like that, yeah. And also people not kind of understanding what you're trying to do, yeah. And also people are like, yeah, but you're creatives, like, you know, like everyone just wants to do like hard stuff, you know. They want you to go to Moyale and report about things. They want you to go to just do really hard stuff. But sometimes as a creative, you just want to do nice stuff. Yeah, so fundraising has been a challenge over the years, but the most amazing thing is I've met so many creatives. In the last 13 years, we've probably directly worked with about 15,000 creatives, and this is creatives from all sectors, from people who are doing robotics to people who are drawing, illustrating, photographers. So it's just been nice and amazing, and I think for me, like, I've loved it because I've been able to meet all these people from all facets of life, and I think that's how I've been able to build myself also as a multidisciplinary artist, because I've been able to learn from all these people.
Yeah. What's your view on curating? I mean, it's a term that is now coming up in almost every space. Yeah.
I think sometimes curating is thrown loosely, but I think my experience as a curator in different things that I've done, I've curated events, I've curated installations. I think it's been really interesting to see how people come in and experience the work. So, for example, when we did Maskan, that's the last installation that I did. We did Maskan, it ran over 3 weeks. We had about almost 1,300 people who came to see it. That was both heavy and both interesting. We didn't think we'd get this many people coming to see the installation, especially because of how hard it was. So with the experience with curating this, because of how hard it was, first of all, I mean, like, I feel like it was traumatizing to all of us who are working on the project, but also just to see how people were experiencing it. Because, for example, when people came in and people would be pin drop silent, I didn't expect that. Yeah, I didn't expect people running out of the room when they see whatever it is that triggered them within Maskan. So I think being a curator is an amazing thing, because sometimes you think this is how things are gonna go, but how people come and experience your work, then it's just interesting to see how it morphs and how people get to to think about your work and interpret the work as well. Yeah. So you've curated as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me about the recent curation that you did.
I mean, I also see a curator as a host of culture, one who designs, develop, not just selecting and then putting it there for display, but you have this kind of responsibility where you need to do proper research. You need to present work that is able to really shape a certain direction of thought or influence certain ideas or thoughts. So it's always a mix of everything. And sometime, I think last year, 2024, I did a show, Image and Exploration, where I was also the curator of the show, my own show. And it was a show that showcased archival material, and I was also interested in the idea of family histories because of how images have always been understood and how people respond to them. And one of the things I was interested really was the idea of when you enter into a household, you'd always be greeted with an album that you're able to check. And the album basically would be a gesture of like, you're welcome in my household. Sit down, go through these pictures as I prepare tea or whatever, and then we can come, sit down, and then just have a chat and talk. And you'd ask all these questions about who is this, where is this person, what happened to this, and that kind of stuff. So for me, I was really interested in the idea of like changing that narrative from a very private setting to a very public setting, whereby now this work is being showcased in a gallery at Goethe Institute. And how do you find the conflict between private and public, whereby I'm showcasing this work that is very personal, and it's only that I have to introduce you to it for you to see it and experience it. But now I'm giving you this work out in the space for you now to interact, to critique it, to do whatever you want to do with it. So that's how my journey into curating started, with archival material, family histories, to now, where I did a last show in May, still at Goethe Institute, and it was an extension of Image and Exploration, but now it was Now You See. And Now You See was the title for the exhibition, basically just to allow the audiences to see this, another extension of albums, or family albums, but now printed in large format prints that's 5 meters by 3 meters. So one of the things I really like with the idea of curating photographs, and I'm really enjoying right now, is the idea of scale, where we have these tiny photographs, but we are now expanding the scale to really big sizes. So it's just creating that imagination where, how does the audience look at the work and relate to it, and how does the work relate to the audience? So I'm always trying to grapple between the two topics. Yeah.
I'm going to bring the elephant in the room.
Yes.
AI. Yeah. So how is AI affecting your work as a photographer?
I mean, yeah, it's a topic that constantly gets in mind. But one thing I am honest about it, and honest with myself, is that AI, I've kind of accepted AI is now here, and it's up to me now to figure out how to go about it. But one of the things I'm always looking at is the authenticity of photographic work, because with AI there's that lack of authenticity, like the realness and the fakeness. There's a way, if you've interacted with photographs for a longer period of time, you can tell the difference. You can tell what is true and what is false. So those are some of the factors I also look at when I'm working with photographic material, and then AI, of course, with itself. But it's a difficult topic to really say that there's like a one view about it, because it keeps shifting and changing. But one of the things I can say is I tend mostly to work with archival material, so, and also with modern work as well. So I really can't give like a definitive line and say it's either this or this. It's how do you navigate through it as an artist while using the AI tools to expand your work, which is good. I wouldn't say it's bad, but how do you make it not solely relying on that tool, but also using your skill? Because basically AI, for me, what I feel is it's what you give it, it's what you prompt it that's going to respond. So are you prompting it with material that is good or proper, and for you, what expectations do you need to get from it? It's still like that. Yeah.
For me and you, I mean, I know it's very easy for us to know what is AI and what is not versus our parents, for example. Yeah, but also AI is getting very good. Like in 2024, AI was giving us 7 fingers. Now it's actually giving us 5 fingers. It's getting better and better. So how should people understand that, like, if they saw the work that you've done and you photographed versus almost the same image that whatever AI tool you're using has generated, like, what are some of the things that someone can look at and say, and what cheat sheet can we give people to tell people this is an original image versus this is an AI image?
I think for like an original image, you look at patterns, shape, background, foreground, all these factors normally contribute to understanding how this image looks like, and compared to an AI, whereby there's always a repetitive pattern to the AI images that you'll notice, and you're like, okay, this is not a true one, this is a false one. So those are some of the factors I always try to look at. Immediately when you just show me a picture, an AI picture, you can tell what is happening, even the background, the tonation of the faces, the patterns. You can feel there's a certain texture that these images have compared to like real ones. I don't know how it is with the film industry, because there's many ways film industry would also play along with like animation. So maybe animators could explain properly how, I don't know, you've done animation, right? So I don't know how you're able to differentiate the two with AI as opposed to photography.
Yeah, so actually this year I actually did an AI animated film, yeah. And the thing is, like for one frame, I had to generate maybe about 10 of them for it to feel a bit original or to make sense. Yeah. So for example, like you'd tell AI, let this person run. Yeah. And I mean the legs would run. I mean, like, it would be so weird. The running style and things like that would be so weird. Or you find that on the first frame there was one chicken, and then on the second one there are 3 of them. Yeah. So the thing is, you just have to keep generating as much as you can, and then try and piece it together to make it feel a bit more real. But I mean, as you're saying, I mean, with texture and everything, it's easier for us to tell, because I mean, we've worked with the medium like for a long time. But personally, what I think about AI is as a collaborator, yeah. Because for example, if we want to blow up cars, like maybe 3-4 years ago, like when people used to do effects of blowing up cars, like you'd be like, oh my God, what is that? Yeah. Because I mean, we don't have the budget to do that, but you want your story to have, like a feel of these action and all these things that's happening. Yeah, and many of us, many editors and many motion graphic guys were not able to get it. Yeah, but now with AI, we can almost get it. Like it's making it a bit more better than it was 3-4 years ago. And I think by next year, we won't be able to tell if we actually blew up a car or it's AI that helped us blow the car up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you thinking, or have you showcased this kind of work at Creative's Garage?
So no, we haven't, but we have conversations around AI like every 2 months. And also in 2 months' time, we're actually currently trying to collect films around Africa for people who use AI to create their films. So we want to do like a AI festival of sorts, just to showcase all these films that are being created around Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I'm also interested in the idea of building structures and the idea of representation as a curator, where how artists are able to connect and work with institutions, and the whole practice around artistic and curatorial practice. How does it influence the kind of work you produce?
Sometimes it depends on who's giving you the money, which is sad. It's a sad thing, but it's a true thing as well. Yeah, but what I have been doing, like in the recent past, is trying to do curatorial work by myself, because I've realized, all these years that I've been in the industry, like you're still influenced by who gives you the money. If it's about femicide, for example, they want you to put, and they say we want data, and this is how we want the data to be, whatever. It limits you to what your imagination can do. Yeah. But more and more, like I was like, now I will be doing like solo curatorial work. That then I can express myself the way I want to. And that's really helped, because now even when I go to these guys who want to commission me for works, I'm like, you can commission me, but don't put me in boundaries. Don't put boundaries on my work, because then that's how I can only work. So if you're trying to put me in a box, then I try not to do that work anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's taken years to get here.
That's always a challenge. That I'm also facing on this other side is, of course, funding opportunities where you're able to work on your projects without really having someone telling you like no or whatever. So you want that space where you're able to express your ideas independently with as much freedom as you can without having to worry that it won't proceed to the next step.
Yeah. I think it takes time as a creative to be able to get there. Yeah, and when sometimes you have to do these other jobs to be able to get the money, then that will help you do the kind of work that you want to do. And then once you're able to do the work that you want to do, then you can start determining and telling people, this is what I do, this is how I do it. But you need to be able to build yourself up to be able to get to that point where you say, I will not do this because of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, thank you, Tayu and Joel. So Picture Museum is also going to be launched next year in June, right?
Yes, we are planning on having it opened mid next year.
Mid next year.
Yeah.
Where is it located?
We have a tentative venue on Kijabe Street.
Yes.
And so that's where we're basically going to be doing much of the building and just set up in general. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And Tayu, any exhibitions that's coming up?
Yes. In October we are doing. I'm doing a installation on AI and data, and we are doing it with in collaboration with Aga Khan University, and an organization that's based in Uganda called Policy. So so mid next month I'll have another installation up.
I'll be there.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for this conversation, and see you next week.